So, you know what the word optics means? Well, it means basically how the public receives something. So, let's give you an example.
Members and staff will be required to wear masks at all times in the hall of the House, except that members may remove their masks temporarily when recognized.
So, translation: wear your mask unless speaking because you cannot transmit unless, well, if you're speaking. It's called science. Well, these rules apply to everyone, well, except Nancy Pelosi. And, well, as you probably already know, she was caught walking around a hair salon without a mask. And let's hear her excuse. Ready for the stupidest thing ever?
Have my hair washed. I don't wear a mask when I'm washing my hair. Do you wear a mask when you're washing your hair? First,
God. First of all, Nancy, you weren't just washing your hair. You were also walking around, and, well, from the clip, it looks like your hair is already wet. So, But you know what I should also mention? San Francisco hair salons. At the time of, or when Nancy Pelosi was getting her hair done, were supposed to be closed. And, well, let's hear Nancy Pelosi's excuse for this. Let's hear.
clearly a setup. I take responsibility for falling for a setup by a neighborhood salon that I've gone to for years.
Oh! So it's the salon's fault. And, you're a lawmaker, right? Yeah, I think so. And you're not just some statue. Got it. You're a lawmaker. And you didn't know the rules and regulations that you probably directly influenced. I smell some, not very, appetizing, scent. Please, someone get that? Still, ignorance of the law isn't an excuse, because you had to know, when you saw nobody else in the clinic or in the shop, or literally nobody else in any shop, or how San Francisco is cracking down, or anything. So ignorance of the law still isn't an excuse, even if you were ignorant. Because it just means you're a bad lawmaker and you don't pay attention to rules. So pick and choose. Either you're really stupid, or you chose to ignore the rule. You choose. But when it comes to politicians being hypocrites, there's an abundance. Hence why I made this video. So let me introduce to you Denver Mayor Michael Hancock. On November 18th, in a letter, Hancock wrote this. And, well, let me read you a certain clause from it. As the holidays approach, we all long to be with our families in person, but with the continued rise in cases, I'm urging you to refrain from travel this Thanksgiving holiday. For my family, this means canceling our traditional gatherings of our extended family. We must take these steps if we want to change the trajectory of this virus. So, guess what he did? And, well, after that, he tweeted the following. Pass the potatoes, not the disease. Stay at home as much as you can, especially if you're sick. Host viral gatherings instead of in-person dinners. Avoid travel if you can. Order your holiday meal at a local eatery. Shop online with a small business for Black Friday. So, in the tweet, he asked people to avoid travel. Well, what should I say he can't? Well, guess where he tweeted that advice from? If you guessed the hospital, you'd be incorrect. If you guessed in some other state, you'd also be incorrect. If you guessed at Denver International Airport, you would be correct. But he tweeted that before he took a flight from Houston, Texas. I'm bad at words. And well, from Houston, he took another short flight to Mississippi, making one stop, two stops, becoming four. Wait, six or three, or depending how you count it. Well, you may be asking, "Oh, idiot! How do you know?" Well, it turns out someone at the airport recognized the mayor, and well, they tipped off the local news. And well, this forced the mayor to address the situation. "I fully acknowledge that I have urged everyone to stay at home and avoid unnecessary travel." So what you're suggesting is your travel was necessary? "I have shared how my family has canceled our plans for a traditional multi-household Thanksgiving celebration." Wait, so you're saying you traveled to Mississippi for Thanksgiving? Let's continue. "What I did not share, but I should have, is that my wife and daughter have been in Mississippi, where my daughter recently took a job. As the holiday approached, I decided it would be safer for me to travel to see them than to have my two family members travel back to Denver." Well, wouldn't you consider that unnecessary travel? I mean, what's so necessary? Let's continue.
"I didn't want to let my daughter down." Well, at least
I mean, he has a good cause. Let's continue. "I apologize to the residents of Denver who see my decision as conflicting with the guidance to stay at home for all essential travel." I'm very good at making things dramatic. Let's continue. "I made my decision as a husband and father, and as for those who are angry, disappointed, I humbly ask you to forgive the decisions that are born on my heart and not my head." I think you misspelled born, but okay. But BONRE is a word. And well, it means the pastime of bear. But you may be asking, well, oh my dearest idiot. My dearest idiot. Who supports you? Well, the Wall Street Journal does. But that still doesn't mean anything, since if you didn't know, born means basically transported or, held upon, because it's the past tense of bear, right? So if they were born, they were held by your heart, metaphorically, and not your head. So I think, well, they were created of my heart and not my head, but carried by my heart and not my head. I think he did a little typo and accidentally hit the E. But since he traveled, he now has to quarantine for 14 days, and well, he'll be limited in doing his job. Luckily, your taxpayers' money will fund his 14-day vacation. Work. Let's continue. Multnomah County Chairman Sharon Myron. I did pronounce that correct. And while this person has called for restrictions on public gatherings and operation of business. And on November 12th, 2020, Myron tweeted this: "Horrifying number of cases. A 2-week pause won't cut it. We need meaningful action. Much we could have done still could address indoor drinking / dining, elective surgeries, and more, but we need to do it now. Days equals lives lost." So while the chairman frowns upon elective surgeries, elected vacations are fine with her. But what you might have not guessed is where that tweet was sent. In Hawaii. And guess where she doesn't live, or well, in the crisis, screw it. I'm just gonna go say it, in the COVID-19 crisis should be, if she's following her own rules. Oh, you guessed Hawaii. That would be correct. Well, this is what she had to say about the trip.
I was thinking about the trip for me personally. It didn't at all seem like a hypocritical or contradictory thing to do to travel.
So this very intelligent human being didn't think it was hypocritical while calling from staying at for calling for stay-at-home orders, and also being in Hawaii, where Multnomah County is not. And well, when the doctor returned to Oregon, which is where Multnomah County is, she had to quarantine for 14 days, which was very helpful to an currently working nurse registered for the emergency room. Extremely helpful. And speaking of Hawaii, several Democrat and Republican lawmakers had a meeting in Hawaii. And, well, in that meeting, there was a certain member from California, and their name is Wendy Carrillo. And in a tweet from December, she tweeted this: South Dakota has 20,000 COVID-19 positive residents, with 300 new cases as of Tuesday, and 202 died, described as the nation's top hotspot. But yeah, hunting birds is cool. Data here. Yeah, okay. Yet meanwhile, she's social distance in a field with nobody but her cameraman, which is most likely like her husband or something. Yeah. And well, guess what? Wendy has a problem with bird hunting, but not traveling to Hawaii. Not only traveling to Hawaii, justifying the trip by saying this: Yes, I am currently in Hawaii for a 4-day bipartisan conference focused on reopening our economy amid COVID-19. This trip is not funded through taxpayer dollars. So who's it funded by then? Well, would you like to know who the trip is funded by? The Independent Voter Project. And that is a lobbyist group. But, as I mentioned before, and by the way, the lobbyist group paid for basically the entire thing. At least for her. Well, there were several Republicans there, and, well, one of them was Assemblyman Frank Bigelow. And, well, you may be asking, okay, why aren't you calling him out? The answer is because Bigelow hasn't called for any, lockdowns or restrictions. And I'm not saying it's the, greatest thing to do. I'm also not saying it's hypocritical, since he hasn't established himself to, have that opinion, or, support complete, lockdown. He also paid for everything. And now we have Sheila Keel, who voted on a bill to restrict actually ban outdoor dining in LA County. Let's have her explain her reasoning.
Servers are not protected from us, and they're not protected from their other 6 tables that they're serving at that particular time, plus all of the hours in which they're working. So it is a most dangerous situation for them. So I sadly but strongly support moving our restaurants back to takeout and delivery.
So, why am I pointing this out? Well, guess what she did right after? She went to El Forno Trattoria, her favorite restaurant, and ordered out to go eat, quote unquote, putting the server in a most dangerous situation. Hypocrite! But some leaked that she was going and tipped off the media, and, well, they said she ate there taking appropriate precautions. Well, if she did, why can't the general population take those appropriate precautions, to eat outdoors? And now we have Cuomo, the governor of New York, who basically said, only basically we're gonna have to go ban Thanksgiving. I mean, here's what he actually said. Try not to, okay, this is a paraphrase, but try not to, have Thanksgiving with a multi-household. And, yeah. And, well, guess what he decided to plan? A multi-household Thanksgiving. And, well, he then said, oh, those were my original plans. And, well, after receiving tons of backlash, he changed them to be alone like he persuaded. Now we have my mostest favoritist governor, Governor Gavin Newsom. Now, Gavin Newsom, as you know, went to the 3-star rated the 3-star rated French Laundry, which I might add has some wonderful interior design people. And, well, now he says that you should put your mask on in between bites, which at the French Laundry he didn't do. He specifies you shouldn't have a Thanksgiving with more than one person, and his own California Department of Public Health thing, basically he violates all the rules and then apologizes for it. End of video, bye.